Okay, it gives me great pleasure to bring this guy onto the show right now, but he didn't come alone, which is great news as well. So I last week I had a gentleman asking me to come on to my podcast, and myself and the producer of the podcast kind of got into a bit of a, I think you should be on. And the other one was like, the other guy was like, well, no, I'm not sure. But then I spoke to him for an hour and a half. His name is Danny Harkins, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you right here in the studio. I'm so grateful. Thank you, mate. How are you?
Thank you. Very good.
Yeah, you brought a friend with you.
Yeah, my friend Shil's my business partner on the UFL, which is a boxing promotions company.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. So I first saw a video link with you last week where, well, it was both of you, actually, asking for DJs.
Yes, right,
Yeah. And then Josh, who's in the background then, tagged me.
Okay.
And that's why then I got in touch and said, oh, well, yeah, I'll come and DJ for you.
Listen, right, you're a DJ, you love a party. We're all about parties, right?
Yeah.
So we put on the biggest after party you've ever heard of. Like,
really?
Like, it's in an old church which is converted to a nightclub. We're going to have about 7, 8 house DJs. We have fire breathers. We have more podium dancers than we know what to do with.
Oh, really? In a church?
That's amazing. Given Chill's run a few strip clubs in his time.
Oh, have you, Chill?
Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
Really?
So, yeah.
But Chill, did you just tell me you were kickboxing champion, world kickboxing champion?
3 times,
Yes, 3 times, yes.
What? When?
Yes.
What years?
One ago.
About 1,000 years ago.
But you don't need to run a nightclub, do you? You must be like, you don't even need to be here right now. What, you should have been chauffeur driven down here, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I should have been, but...
Yeah, Danny, come on, what's going on?
I know.
But now you work together with Danny.
Absolutely.
And Danny, you've got an amazing story, and there's a chance that it might be made into a movie, correct?
Well, Terry Stones talked about it. We did a podcast.
I saw it. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Before, obviously, talks about that we really want to make movies, been linking me up with top criminal ghostwriter.
Top criminal ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Is it what he's going to link you up with it, or?
Yeah, she's available in May. So I was writing myself, look, let's just speed this up, get a professional to write it.
I can help you with that after this as well.
Yeah.
Got mates in Hollywood. Don't worry, I can help you with that, Danny. Forget that guy. Seriously, I'm joking. I'm joking at all.
That's right.
Completely joking. But anything we can do, because I really enjoyed your story. Now, is it okay that we delve into it a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. So you did 9 years, or you were sentenced to 9 years.
Sentenced 9. You do half.
You do half if you're
But
good.
you know what? The British justice system changes all the time.
Right.
And in the old days, the old days, you do like 2/3. But
Is that right? I didn't know
But
that.
the
Are we talking really old days?
I don't know exactly. Might be 15, 20 years ago. But
Is that the days of the craze, you mean?
No.
No?
Probably, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. I don't know the exact date. But the thing is, the sentences were much, much lower. So even though you did 2/3, you would still do less overall time. Sentences now are very, very, very high.
Really? Why is that?
I mean, I can only speculate.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, I do know whenever, personally, there's a pound note involved, there'll always be a level of corruption somewhere. With the NHS...
But you're saying back in the day it was always 2/3. You'd do 2/3 and you could be out. So
Yeah, but the sentences are much, much lower. Now you only do half, but the sentences are much, much longer.
Okay, so you got 9 years. Can we talk about what you got 9 years for?
Yeah.
Okay, go on. What was it?
It was, I got done for a kidnap and a conspiracy to force imprisonment.
Okay, so conspiracy, but also kidnap. Can I just make this really clear? Because this was the problem I had with my producer on the podcast. I said, yeah, he went to jail for kidnapping. He thought you kidnapped kids.
No.
You did not kidnap kids.
Definitely not.
We're all naive over here. We're all really, really naive. So we're coming to you very green here. So what it was, you were involved with a certain system, could we say?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, without a doubt, you were a part.
They had
part of a scene, without a
Yeah,
doubt.
they had us down as being a big organised crime kind of group, and I know there was another guy who got nicked for assisting an organised crime group. So they kind of in court figured out that's what they were, but didn't know the ins and outs of it. So yeah, I mean, basically, someone who I was involved with back in the day set fire to my gym. For reasons we won't go into, and we went looking for him. And we knew he'd moved away, so I was at the time quite worried it might be the house that went up in flames or whatever next. So, I think the need to protect my family and survival and everything else, and at the time I was partying a lot, I was drinking a lot, I was partying with lots of girls, bit of coke, all the rest of it. So you're not thinking 100%, and definitely a degenerated version of myself, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'd say, like, you know, we just a bit of panic involved, and I thought, right, I better find someone like a drug dealer who works for him, get hold of him because he's moved away, and I can extract the information from them. It was a bit like that, but it all went a bit P-tong.
Did you know the guy that did it? That did that set fire to your gym?
Yeah, I know the guy who was responsible for it. Yeah.
You did know that.
Yeah.
So look, fast forward. So you're in jail. You've done maybe 2 years, or is it 1 year? And you're suddenly.
I think violence was a daily part of my life.
Well, that was the point I was getting to before.
time.
When I said you were involved, I didn't mean
So
you were necessarily involved in kidnapping, but you were involved.
Well, there was a lot of things like that, kidnaps, and that was kind of a day-to-day business. So it becomes so normalised, and you become desensitised to that level of violence. But the conversation you're having with the kind of people you're having daily, it's just normal for you all. So I think, and obviously, like in that life, you do degenerate. You know, you party a lot, you spend a lot of money, and I think because I did have a nice family before that, and it all just started going big time. I was quite a good person in the community at one point, coaching a lot of boxing, and just the wheels were coming off. So I think when I went to jail, you know, to be honest with you, I kind of knew that, like, well, it's not the end of the world. I probably needed to get off the train and have a little break.
But you did say something quite interesting to me on the phone last week, because we spent an hour and a half on the phone, and it was honestly, it was fascinating, because it was like I heard the whole movie right there, and I was like, I could see the movie. Very similar, obviously not the same story, to when I watched Jordan Belfort being interviewed before The Wolf of Wall Street came out, and the way you told the story was brilliant on the phone. But you did say it's tough, because on one side, if you don't do anything about something that happens, then then it's probably going to happen to you again or something like that. But if you do, then you're equipped. But when you're so involved in that world, it's something that someone growing up in the middle class system probably just would never ever understand.
No, they probably wouldn't. Like, but we're all people. But I mean, in the, let's call it the lower working class community, it's a normal, like, you know. But even if you've got other people that are active as well and are actively doing bits and bobs, shall we say, right? If you're doing more than they are, right, and you're better at it, you'll be a level of jealousy as well, right? And that's just life, right? But what you can have, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, just like,
no, you're doing great. You're doing great.
If people owe you money and you go get it back, you're going to be called a bully. The same people who call you a bully when you go get back your money are going to basically call you a mug if you don't get your money back.
Yeah.
So you're losing either way. And that's the shame about it, because you've got people pressuring you, you're a mug, and you're always a bully when you do go and get it back. So it's just not a very nice game, it's not a very nice world, and I certainly don't want to glorify anything like that. I'd say, you know, it's I degenerated. When I went to prison, I got educated for the first time in my life. So
well, that was where I was just about to go. So you went to jail, and then suddenly you got into university.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got kicked out of every school I ever went to. I was quite a naughty boy. And but when I went to jail, you know, I was quite successful. I'm about 5 limited companies running. So I realised this is dead time, and I'm losing loads of money. I can't make it dead time. I just stumbled into, like, the library and picked up Classic. I actually like watching.
How long when you were in there did you start going to the library? How long?
Quite early. I went in. I've always read boxing biographies, right?
Yeah.
I love the boxing biographies, and like, but how much do you really need to know about two people that hit each other in the head?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, there's only like so much of it you're gonna learn from. Obviously, I love boxing, but you know, reading the classics and stuff, and there's so much from the classics, and then. You know, like they like in Dickens books and Jane Austen books, they really delve into people's characters and people's natures. And back then in the 1800s, I think there was a real, like, there was a line, good, bad. Everyone was simple. These are good traits, these are bad traits. The more of these traits you got, the better you're going to do in life, the more of these traits. And then you read books like The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire, The Rise and Fall of this and that, all the books on all the great leaders for history, and you find, especially things like The Rise and Fall of British Prime Ministers or the Roman Empire, there's a certain amount of traits you'll see, the ones who lose power through, like, extravagance, or you know, they're given into the desires all the time, and there's certain traits which will lead to success. By reading all that, really, like, and you've got nothing to do, I'd take notes all day. That was more powerful than, I got into Westminster University, but I got more out of the history books, and the psychology books and the sociology books I ever got at university.
Well, we're going to play a song right now, and this is a really, like I said before, it's a real redemptive story, so I'm really excited to keep talking, but we haven't got that much longer, but we're going to play this tune nevertheless. It's a short one. Do you want to introduce it?
I wasn't giving some loving, that's my wake-up tune.
So I'm live in the studio with Danny Harkins and Chill. Chill, what's your real name? Are you going to say it? Are you going to tell the world?
I think the world knows my name is.
The world knows. The world knows. Danny, so just before we went to that song, we talked about how you got 9 years in jail. You were out in 4.5?
Yeah.
You were out in 4.5. During that time, you got a degree.
And the last 2 years of it, I was getting, the last 1 year of it, I was getting out to DCAT to Westminster University.
Westminster University.
Yeah.
So you got to go every day?
Every day, yeah. So you'd leave at like 6 in the morning and be back at 9:30. Spend the whole day at university and travelling in between.
Is that weirdly like a nice, gentle push out to the work? Because you must get desensitised to being in jail and then struggle when you get out to civvy life in a sense.
Mate, they give you a phone, you have to have a phone, right?
Yeah.
So they can get hold of you at all times, and they shut up without letting you know when the bang. You call, right, where are you?
Oh, really? Just in case if you might have walked down the street too far or something?
You can go a certain distance to get food.
Really?
But that's which is all fine. But I remember the first day I got out, I was like a tourist going with my iPhone or whatever it was, like photoing everything on the underground like I've never seen London before. I'm a Londoner.
Yeah. Okay. So you would you go on the underground to get to Westminster?
Yeah, I was loving life.
So just the most simple thing after a couple of years in jail was probably so much fun just to be on a tube.
Anyone who's been to jail will understand. You think about things like, I can't wait to walk down a shopping aisle and choose my food.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get a push bike and go for long rides in the country.
Yeah.
I can't wait for, going on nice runs down the river.
So when you that day when it was all done, so you finished university. So
No, I did a year of Open University. I've done 30 courses before that.
Okay.
To get me into Open University, and then from that, I used that to get into Westminster University. I've done the year and then got out, and then to be honest with you, as soon as I got out, the ex-wife was like, right, you got to work. We got to work and get on top of bills and stuff. So.
But you now own 4 companies, correct?
No. So I had 5 companies before it, Jill.
4, okay, right.
5
so now it's boxing.
We're focused on the boxing. Yeah.
We're focused on the boxing. So you're going to be at the O2 in Bournemouth, correct? At some point.
We're having talks with them. We're at the biggest nightclub in Southampton, which has been for years. We've probably run the best show on the South Coast, I think. But it was always under Punch, which is fine for a local show. And it got to the point, right, let's start taking this seriously. And we want to go national. So. I'm in talks with some London promoters about doing some collaborations with them. We're booked up to go Bournemouth in the summer. We've got 3 shows lined up in Southampton, but we're in talks with some pretty good promoters who do shows at the O2 in London, at the Indigo Room within the O2, and York Hall, and places like that. So but we want to work with lots of other good promoters, so we could do South Coast versus London, North versus South, things like that.
Maybe even more. Maybe it could go international. What do you reckon, Chill? I could see that, couldn't you?
Not
Vegas?
not unlike Iceland. The truth is, what we want to do, and I think it's quite achievable for us to be the biggest and best of the unlicensed promoters in the UK, and then move into the pro game, which is what Chill was wanting to do. That's where we want to go.
That's what we want to do, is it? Yeah.
Let's cut our teeth on some big unlicensed shows, 2,000-3,000 people, so we really know our onions, because a lot of people go into the pro game and they just lose.
So when you came out of jail, did you, because you obviously did the university thing, you definitely have a different story to a lot of other people I've spoken to that have been inside and done their time, because a lot of time get people reoffended, it happens quite a lot. But that's your first and only time, wasn't it? Or?
Yeah, first time, 9 years on the first one, but I think I was lucky when I was older and realised what it was at the time, a waste of life. Because a lot of youngsters, they just don't get it, and it's very sad to see kids in and out of a revolving door.
Well, there is a saying, is it? A lot of them come out better criminals than they were in the first place because they can learn that.
I think that's very. I think it's very down to the way the justice system is run. I mean, if you look at the Nordic countries, we had this discussion. All the Nordic countries basically have a very, very low offending rate, and I truly believe if you focus on educating the kids and also a lot of these kids are not academic, right? So they should be, helping them get trades and stuff. And in the Nordic countries, they'll get into carpentry, plumbing, electrics, and they just don't reoffend. They come out and they've got a trade. They're
And they've got a
earning good
game
money.
plan.
They've got a game plan.
A vision.
You've changed their lives.
Yeah.
And you not only that, they're not going to be offenders, so they're less of a danger to others. They're going to pay their taxes. They're going to become much more useful members of society. So it's a win-win-win. More money for the country, less crime, less victims. You know, less pain all round. I don't know why.
So would you say a lot of the guys that are in jail sometimes are just there because they do not know where to place their energy and they're with wrong circles?
I believe, like, you know, it's very indicative. Well, if you're talking about kids from the very lower working classes, which
Yeah.
predominantly fill the jails, a lot of them got autism, a lot of them got ADHD.
Sure.
And they've been, you know, they've had really, really bad upbringings, like unimaginably bad upbringings. There's a lot of, obviously a lot of hard drugs like crack and heroin use, and like your kids have been introduced to that at 14, like, and it's almost like they got no chance.
Yeah.
So I think they should be doing all they can to mend these people and, you know, educate these people. And if they're not academic, because most of these kids aren't, then, you know, what's the opposite of academic? Say,
What's that? What?
the opposite of academic, you know, like if they're,
What you? There's.
you know, like kids who are very good with their hands and building and
Yeah,
trades.
I mean, practical.
Practical. That's
Yeah,
it, yeah.
there you go.
A lot of these kids are very practical.
Yeah.
And you do see it, but they've got real Mickey Mouse courses over it. As a bit,
Yeah, there's a difference between practicality, having talent, being intelligent, and being clever. Actually,
Yeah.
the four are not actually all the same. Listen, so how can people get involved with this boxing scene? And were you a boxer yourself?
yeah.
Yeah,
I won a sub-area title as an amateur.
Are you still boxing?
No, you'll keep fun. bit of pad work.
Chill. Are you going to be doing any? Or you're training, or you're more on the
More training people. And,
CEO?
Yeah, well, you know, getting involved with the, you know, bringing the kids up and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
stuff like that, you know, getting them into the game.
How can people get involved? Have you got a website?
Yeah, we've got a website.
Tell us the website. So we're coming towards the end of the show, so we need to know how people can get involved in this whole thing.
We've literally only just changed over from Punch Punch to UFL, so it's all very new. Obviously, there's a social media thing, platform as that, but it's all literally just changing over right now from 10 years of being the Punch Punch to UFL. So we're literally in that process now. Every day, 7, 8 hour, 12-hour days, making calls, changing it all over. The last month was quite involved.
Well, do you know what, Danny? I want to keep talking. I really do. We'll get you on the podcast. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
We'll do that as well. But did you get much spiritual enlightenment when you were inside? Did that happen? Because I know
Yeah,
we
I've
did
al-
share
I've-
quickly.
I've
You
al- I've
are a
always-
Christian.
Yeah, I've always been a Christian. I used to go to church, and but it might sound silly, but I've always had that connection. So yeah,
That's amazing,
And
isn't it?
I must admit, when you're in them dark places, it definitely helps.
Yeah, it's amazing how many
100%, yeah.
people do pray when
Yeah,
they
go to church
don't
and-
normally believe, and suddenly are in a scenario like that,
Yeah,
right?
you do find that. But yeah, Sunday going to church used to really like level me out, calm me down. And I used to go on a Wednesday, I think Bible study and things like that. I enjoyed it. So like,
So you did all that in jail as well. Chill. How can people get involved with you? Are you on social media?
Yes, Instagram, chill.
Chill. It's simple. What an easy
Chill,
name for marketing.
yeah, Chill
That's
UFL,
fantastic.
Instagram, yes.
Chill on Instagram. And Danny, you're on Instagram.
Danny Harkins, yeah.
Danny Harkins. Follow
TikTok,
him.
Facebook, yeah.
And check out the podcast that he did. Who was it with?
Kevin Stone.
That was brilliant. Got a lot of
Right.
hits.
Yeah.
Got a lot of hits. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for
Beautiful,
letting
thank
me
you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for letting me do what I love to do, especially for you. This is the ATW show. I'll see you next week, 7 o'clock, live on 90.1 Hope FM. Thank you, Stay the Art. Thank you, Cool Nation Radio. Thank you, Vulcan. Thank you, Sapphire. And thank you, Danny and Chill, for coming onto the show. Cheers, guys. God bless.
Yeah.
Thank
In
you
fact,
very
let's have a
much.
little round of applause.
Yes, mate.
And
Yes,
Josh
yes,
Baker in the
indeed.
background. We see you, man.
Yes,
we see you.
indeed, yes, indeed.
And Tom filming as well. Cheers, Tom.
Well done, Tom.
From
Well
Berlin.
done.
Tom.
Just,
Well done.
just.
Absolutely.